The Lebombo Border Post has partially reopened. This is after talks between South Africa and Mozambique. The border was closed due to election violence in Mozambique. This week, protesters set fire to buildings and official vehicles. SABC News reporter Nhlanhla Jele is on the ground monitoring the situation for us. So, Nhlanhla, is the truck blockage filtering through at this point?
Good morning to you, Mxolisi, and to the viewers at home. Indeed, the border yesterday was partially opened around 3 p.m. in the afternoon. However, later at night, around 10 p.m., we understand from what the truck drivers here are telling us is that they were allowed to pass through to Mozambique. I mean, if I just show you what is currently happening, if you remember correctly, Mxolisi, you and the viewers at home, the whole time that we've been here yesterday and the days before, this part was empty. In actual fact, the gate on the other side where you are seeing BMA officials there up there, it was closed to show and indicate that there is no movement of trucks. Remember when BMA was briefing us during the week was that the reason why trucks are not allowed to pass through to go to Mozambique at this point is because their safety is not guaranteed because of the political unrest, of course, which led to the closure of the Lebombo port of entry several times this week. But Mxolisi, I can confirm this morning that trucks are moving. They started moving in actual fact yesterday evening around 10 p.m. We spoke to some truck drivers earlier on when we arrived here this morning who said to us it's quiet at the moment, hence they were able to go overnight and come back. As you can see, there's movement in policy. Other trucks are coming back, other trucks are actually going back to Mozambique. If you remember correctly, policy as well, during the week when the border was being partially opened and closed, only trucks in Mozambique that had crossed before the initial closing of the port of entry on Wednesday were the only ones that were allowed to come through when the border post was opened partially. So trucks carrying cargo, Mxolisi, were not allowed to make their way to Mozambique. However, we can confirm that we are here on the ground where the trucks are being processed in South Africa to Mozambique. We can also say, Mxolisi, that some of the truck drivers are telling us that in kilometer 4, which is in Mozambique, on the other side of Risano Garcia, which is the border post in Mozambique, they say it has been destroyed. They're still cleaning up, they're still operating, trying to get kilometer 4 to operate, where trucks are also being processed on the other side. But for now, they are being allowed to stamp their passports in South Africa, stamp their passports in Mozambique, and then also get to kilometer 4 Mxolisi, where they are allowed to proceed to Maputo. Some truck drivers are telling us that it's quiet at the moment. However, they are not sure if the protesting has stopped for good or if it will continue. Mxolisi?
All right, Nhlanhla Jele is watching that story for us. Thanks very much indeed for that update. That's our very own Nhlanhla Jele monitoring that story for us. We'll be taking you back to her, but later on in the program.